The Sports Source is brought to you by Fast Frame. Turn your memorabilia into a work of art.
This is The Sports Source, presented by Bill Hotz and Associates, and by Renewal by Andersen, with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning, good Father's Day morning to you. This is The Sports Source, presented by Renewal by Andersen. Appreciate you joining us. You know, we don't play by a lot of rules here on this show. We've had Sterling Hinton DJ for us. We've done a whole show in the theme of match game before. That blew up in my face. Today we're actually going to have some live music from a band that's in town tonight. That's mixed throughout our show. It's going to be a fun one. It's our Father's Day Spectacular, so happy Father's Day to everyone out there watching, including my father, who I know is watching. Let's get right into today's show. First segment brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. This month you can save big on replacement windows from Renewal now through June 30th. Buy one window, get another for 40% off. 40% off. That's Renewal by Andersen quality at a fantastic price. Head to rbaknoxville.com to learn more. All right, I want to welcome in the panelists for today. These guys do not have instruments, and I promise none of us will sing. Bob Hodge, Josh Ward, Mike Strange, Chuck Cavaleris. I appreciate all of you being here. Let me go ahead and show you what we've got coming up on today's show. Phillip Fulmer praises Butch Jones. We'll talk about that right now. Jones' contract. We'll do a Pearl Patino comparison in terms of the penalties they got from the NCAA. Big day for Tennessee recruiting yesterday. Butch Jones and Jerry Green, their comparisons to draw there. And then, as I said, live music, and we'll even give away a couple of concert tickets to Roger Clyne and the Peacemakers fans out there in just a minute. Let's start with the Phillip Fulmer stuff. And here's what he had to say this week on the Eric Ains Show on WNML. Josh, I'm sure you love the plug.
Yes.
Everybody's fussing about, oh gosh, we only won 9 last year. 9 wins is a great year. Think about where we were 4 years ago and where we are now. No, it's not where we want to be, but you have to give the guy his credit. He's rebuilt the program. I mean, we were in a dark place 4 years ago after the Dooley stuff. It was terrible. At least right now we're in the conversation. Now we got to get past that, move on down. He says that's how close this thing is, and it gets back to an injury or a break here or there, a tipped ball or a fumbled snap like we got against Arkansas. Those kinds of things are really important, and people need to just relax, give us a chance to get this thing turned around. All right, how much help is this for Butch Jones to have Phillip Fulmer come? And Phillip Fulmer's been supportive all along. That is about as full-throated support line as I've ever heard. How much does that help Butch Jones, if at all?
You want a scale of 1 to 10?
Sure.
3.
You don't think it does much?
No, I don't think it does much, because the people that don't like Butch Jones already are going to sit there and say 9 wins was disappointing, didn't win the East, blah, blah, blah. Then to come back and say it's a great year, I think will make people scoff, a word I don't use very often. And they're scoffing. I don't think it's a great year. I think it oversold it, and I don't think it helped.
We'll get back to the great line in a second, but I want to. Do you think this helps Butch Jones? Even if we're just talking about the people that are on the fence, maybe.
Well, we've talked before. Somebody besides Butch needs to come out and say some of these things.
There you go.
I mean, and so I give it a bingo for that. But
we got a scoff and a bingo. That's good.
Yeah, it helps, but not much. You know.
I think this is a does not hurt situation, and if there are people behind the scenes at UT that do care what Phillip Fulmer has to say, do want to talk to him, and he echoes those comments behind the scenes, that could help. But for fans that already have made up their mind, at least right now, what they believe Butch Jones is as a coach, I think this will maybe even strengthen their opinion, whether they like Butch Jones or dislike. I think this could be a doubling down type situation.
I'll give it a harumph. No, I think it helps in the sense that it helps now, but it doesn't change the fact what's going to happen on the field.
Agreed. It can go out the window if they lose. I think it may help a little bit more. I do. I think Phillip Fulmer, and you saw this with the AD run, there are, and you mentioned it, you've got people on both sides of the fence, just like with Butch Jones, but he's got passionate followers out there. And I think for the passionate followers, if there are any of those that weren't on board with Butch or were wavering with Butch, that's the small group he'll help with. The people that love Fulmer and are maybe iffy on Butch Jones. Now, I don't know how different, if we did a Venn diagram, I don't know what the percentage is that fits both those categories, but I think it could help a little bit. What about his comment, 9 wins is a great year? We got your take on it, Bob. I mean, 9 wins can be a great year. If you're a horrible underdog, it can be a great year if you win 9. Sugar Bowl year. Sure. 9-1-2 regular season, won the East for the first time in 16 years. That's a great year. Last year, hard to say that was a great 9-win season.
Yeah, I don't think this past season was a great season. But if Tennessee wins 9 games this year, I don't know if I'll use the word great, but it would be close. If with everything they have to replace from last season, new quarterback, Alabama and LSU as your Western Division opponents, if Tennessee goes and wins 9 games this year, I'll at least be really impressed.
Yeah, I think at Tennessee, in general, 9 wins is a good year, maybe a very good year, but not a great year.
And it's not really 9 wins; it's 8, because we don't. When we do our predictions, we don't count the bowl game. So it's really, it's really 8 wins.
No, it's 9. You lose that bowl game.
That would count. That's right. You count the bowls if they lose.
But you're coming at this from the standpoint of you are the SEC East favorites, and so that to me makes it nullifies great year. If you had gone 10-2 and still not won the East because you dropped the game to Florida or Georgia or whatever, it makes it short of being great. I think Fulmer oversold that point, and I think that plays into the small percentage, but the percentage that just doesn't like Butch Jones. Now Phil Fulmer's covering for him.
I think
great year. No,
it might have even been better just to say 9 wins is a very good year. I mean, and if 9 wins is a great year, what's 10?
But I think coaches, they'll view 9 wins in the SEC as great. I think coaches are always going to play that up.
Well, they didn't. I think you left out part of the quote. You said 9 wins is a great year at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's all right. Folks, as I said earlier, we like to have some fun on this show. For the last 15 years, we just kind of do our own thing. We haven't played by anyone's rules. Sterling has played DJ for us. We've done a whole game show in the past, and that blew up in my face. We had 17 people on the show after last fall's win over Florida. Well, today it's our Father's Day concert series. Once every 15 years we'll have a band here, but it's got to be a great band. Roger Clyne the Peacemakers are live at the International tonight. That's in the Warehouse District downtown. Be the 3rd person to tweet me right now about RCPM, and I'll give you 2 free tickets to the show. I'll be there, I can tell you that. They're one of the most popular bands, most popular live acts in the American West. They capture the spirit and twang of Arizona and Mexico. They got a documentary that just came out about this band that tells you what kind of a cult following they've got. And if you're from Knoxville, this is the highest praise I can give you. If you remember the group that I think is the best to ever come out of here, the V-Roys, they'll remind you a little bit of the V-Roys, but they've stuck together a whole lot longer. We'll talk Butch Jones and contract and a lot of Vol stuff next, but first, a quick taste of Roger Clyne and the Peacemakers.
Especially when I kiss you, now get in my